Sonia, look me in the eyes and answer one question. Is there another man?
Emeka, please. I already told you, I'm just tired of this relationship.
Tired? After everything we planned, after 3 years, you woke up one morning and suddenly became tired.
People change, Emeka. Feelings change.
No. Feelings don't change this fast without a reason.
What exactly do you want from me?
The truth. Did I mistreat you? Did I cheat on you? Did I abandon you? Tell me what I did.
You did nothing.
Then why are you leaving me?
Because I don't want to marry you anymore.
Okay, but before you walk away, Sonia, answer me carefully.
What?
Are you absolutely sure the person you are choosing over me is who you think he is?
What are you talking about?
You'll find out.
Sonia was a beautiful and confident young woman from Ifite, a peaceful community in Anambra State. And although she loved her village, she had spent most of the year away from home while learning a handwork that she hoped would help her stand on her own one day. Every December, Ifite became different from the quiet place people knew during the rest of the year. Sons and daughters of the community returned from cities and foreign countries. Expensive cars filled the roads. Old family houses were painted. New buildings were opened. Music played from morning until late at night, and everywhere smelt of food, celebration, and happiness. People who had not seen one another for many months met again, hugged, laughed, and talked about how life had treated them. Some people came home only to spend time with their families, while others came to show everyone that they had become successful. Sonia enjoyed the festive season because it gave her a chance to rest, dress beautifully, visit old friends, and forget the worries of everyday life. That particular December, she returned to Ifite a few days before Christmas. Her parents were happy to see her, and her younger sister Adaeze ran outside to welcome her as soon as the vehicle that brought her stopped in front of their family house. "Sonia, you have finally remembered that you have a family," Adaeze joked as she pulled her into a warm embrace. Sonia laughed and held her tightly. "I have been busy learning my work. You know I cannot abandon everything and be coming home every week." Her mother came out of the house with a broad smile. "Allow your sister to enter before you begin your trouble," she said to Adaeze. Sonia bent slightly and greeted her mother with respect before hugging her. Her father was sitting in the front yard listening to news from a small radio. When he saw her, he smiled with pride. "Welcome home, my daughter," he said. "Thank you, Papa," Sonia replied as she carried her bag inside. The house felt warm and familiar. The walls held old family photographs. The smell of soup came from the kitchen, and sounds of laughter from nearby compounds reminded her that Christmas had truly arrived. For the first 2 days, Sonia stayed mostly at home, helping her mother, talking with her sister, and visiting a few relatives. But by the 3rd day, her friends began calling her to come out. They told her that a popular festive spot near the center of the community had become the main place where young people gathered every evening. There were lights, music, grilled meat, drinks and games, and enough space for people to sit and watch the beautiful cars that arrived from different places. Sonia first refused because she was tired, but her friend Chinasa would not allow her to stay home. "You did not come back to Ifite to sleep every day," Chinasa said over the phone. "Wear something beautiful and come out. Everyone is here." Sonia smiled. "Everyone is always there according to you." "I am serious. You need to see the cars here. People are spending money as if money grows on trees." "That is their business," Sonia replied, pretending not to be interested. "I will stay at home and rest." Chinasa laughed loudly. "You are only saying that because you have not seen what I am seeing. I will come to your house myself if you do not prepare." Sonia knew her friend well enough to understand that she was not joking. She eventually agreed and told Chinasa to give her 1 hour. Sonia entered the room she shared with Adaeze and opened her traveling bag. She brought out a fitted yellow dress that stopped below her knees, a pair of simple high-heeled shoes, and a small black handbag. Adaeze watched her from the bed with interest. "You said you were tired," she teased. "I changed my mind," Sonia replied. "Chinasa will not let me rest." Adaeze smiled as she watched Sonia apply light makeup in front of the mirror. Sonia did not need much before she looked attractive. She had clear skin, bright eyes, and a graceful way of carrying herself. She brushed her long dark hair and allowed it to fall over her shoulders. When she finished dressing, Adaeze nodded with approval. "You look like someone who is going to meet her husband tonight." Sonia turned and gave her a warning look. "Do not start. I am only saying what I see." "What you see is a woman going out to enjoy Christmas with her friends. That is how many marriages begin," Adaeze said with a laugh. Sonia picked up a small pillow and threw it at her before leaving the room. Her mother looked at her from the sitting room and smiled. "You look beautiful, but do not return too late," she warned. "I will not, Mama. And be careful, December brings many people home. You do not know everyone's true character." Sonia nodded, though she was more interested in reaching the festive spot than listening to advice. Chinasa arrived with another friend named Amara, and the three young women walked together toward the center of the community. The evening air was cool, and the roads were busy with people moving in different directions. Children ran around with small fireworks, music came from several compounds, and women selling snacks called out to passers-by. As Sonia and her friends approached the festive spot, the sound of music grew louder. Bright lights had been placed around the open area. There were many plastic tables and chairs, food sellers, drink sellers, and groups of people dancing or talking. Cars were parked in long rows, and every few minutes another expensive vehicle arrived. Some young men opened bottles of drinks for strangers just to show that they had money. Others sprayed cash on musicians and dancers while people cheered. Sonia looked around with a smile. "You are right," she told Chinasa. "This place is lively." Chinasa held her hand and pulled her toward an empty table. "Did I not tell you? We came early yesterday and stayed until almost midnight." Amara laughed. "Do not mind her. She only came because she heard that some men from abroad were here." Chinasa rolled her eyes. "And what is wrong with that? Should I be looking for a husband among people who do not have jobs?" They all laughed and ordered drinks. Sonia relaxed as the music played. She watched people greet one another, watched couples dance, and watched young men try to impress women with money. Although she enjoyed the atmosphere, she did not pay serious attention to any man. A few approached their table, but Sonia politely turned them away. A man offered to buy drinks for them, but she thanked him and said they already had enough. Chinasa leaned close to her. "You are behaving as if you are already married." "I am not interested in every man who has money to buy one drink." "Then what kind of man are you interested in?" "I do not know. I will know when I see him." Chinasa was about to reply when the sound of a powerful engine drew everyone's attention toward the entrance. Conversations became quieter for a moment as a large, dark-colored luxury vehicle entered the open space. The vehicle was modern, wide, and expensive-looking, with bright lights and polished bodywork that reflected the colorful Christmas decorations around the area. People moved aside to make room for it. Even some of the men who had arrived in expensive cars stopped what they were doing and looked. The vehicle slowly came to a stop near the main sitting area. The driver's door opened, and a tall, well-dressed man stepped out. He wore a clean white shirt, dark trousers, expensive shoes, and a shining wristwatch. He had a confident smile and moved like a man who was used to receiving attention. Two other men came out with him, laughing loudly as they greeted people they knew. "That is Philip," someone said from a nearby table. "He came back from Thailand. Look at the car he brought," another person whispered. "That man has money." Philip did not behave like someone who wanted to avoid attention. He opened the back of the vehicle and brought out several bottles of expensive drinks. He ordered more drinks from the sellers and told them to serve people around him. When a group of young boys rushed closer to greet him, he brought out a bundle of cash and shared some money among them. They shouted his name with excitement. Philip laughed, lifted his hand, and told them to enjoy Christmas. Sonia watched him from across the open space. At first, she told herself she was only looking because everyone else was looking. But she soon realized that there was something about Philip's confidence that held her attention. He appeared comfortable, cheerful, and generous. He shook hands with old men, greeted women respectfully, gave money to musicians, and made everyone around him feel important. His friends followed behind him, laughing at everything he said. Chinasa noticed the way Sonia was staring. "So this is the kind of man you will know when you see him," she whispered. Sonia quickly looked away. "I'm only watching what everyone else is watching." "You have been watching him for more than 5 minutes, Amara smiled. "Leave her alone. She has finally seen someone who has caught her attention." Sonia tried to act uninterested, but she found herself looking at Philip again. At that same moment, Philip turned in her direction. Their eyes met from a distance. Sonia looked away immediately, but her heart began to beat faster. She felt foolish for reacting like a schoolgirl. She picked up her drink and tried to focus on her friend's conversation. A few minutes later, she looked up again and saw Philip still watching her. This time, he smiled. Sonia did not smile back, but she did not look away quickly either. Philip said something to one of his friends and then began walking toward their table. Chinasa became excited. "He's coming here," she whispered. "Please behave normally." "You are the one who should behave normally," Sonia replied, though she was the one whose hands had suddenly become cold. Philip stopped beside their table and greeted them politely. "Good evening, beautiful ladies." "Good evening," they replied. He looked directly at Sonia. "I hope I'm not disturbing you." Sonia shook her head. "No, you are not. My name is Philip. I am Sonia." "Sonia," he repeated slowly, as if he wanted to remember the name. "It suits you." Chinasa and Amara exchanged secret smiles. Philip asked if he could sit with them, and they agreed. He ordered another round of drinks, even though they said they had not finished the ones on the table. He spoke easily and made them laugh. He told them that he had lived in Thailand for several years and had returned home for Christmas. "So you only came to show us your big car," Chinasa teased. Philip laughed. "The car is not the reason I came." "Then why did you come?" Amara asked. Philip looked at Sonia before answering. "Maybe I came to find something more important than a car." Sonia lowered her eyes, trying not to smile. Chinasa noticed and decided to give them space. After a short while, she stood up and told her friends they needed to greet someone at another table. Sonia knew they were only making an excuse, but before she could stop them, they had already walked away. Philip moved his chair slightly closer, though he remained respectful. "Your friends are clever. They know when two people need to talk." Sonia laughed softly. "They enjoy causing trouble. Then I am grateful for their trouble." Sonia looked at him carefully. "You speak as if you already know me." "I do not know you yet, but I would like to." "Why?" "Because from the moment I entered this place, you are the only person who did not run toward me or try to collect money from me." Sonia smiled. "Maybe I did not need your money." "That is exactly what made me notice you." Philip asked about her family, her work, and her plans for the future. Sonia told him she was learning a handwork and wanted to become independent. Philip listened closely, nodding as she spoke. He did not interrupt or look distracted. His attention made Sonia feel important. After some time, Philip said, "I want to be honest with you. I am no longer a young boy who wants to move from one woman to another. I came home because I am tired of living alone. I want to settle down. I want a wife." Sonia stared at him, surprised by how quickly he had brought up marriage. "You just met me tonight." "That is true, but sometimes a man can see someone and feel that there is something special about her. I'm not saying we should marry tomorrow. I'm saying I would like to know you with a serious mind." "How do I know you are not saying the same thing to every woman here?" Sonia asked. Philip smiled. "You do not know yet. That is why you should give me time to prove myself." His answer pleased her because he did not become angry or defensive. They continued talking until Chinasa and Amara returned. Before Sonia left that evening, Philip asked for her phone number. She hesitated briefly, then gave it to him. He called the number immediately so that she would have his contact. "I will call you when you get home," he promised. "Do not call too late," Sonia warned. "Your mother will be angry?" "I will be angry," Philip laughed. "Then I will call early enough." Sonia and her friends left the festive spot together. As they walked home, Chinasa could not stop talking. "Did you see the way he was looking at you? That man likes you." Sonia tried to hide her excitement. "He just met me." "A man does not need 10 years to know when he likes a woman," Amara said. "But be careful," she added. "Men who live abroad sometimes come home and promise marriage to many women." Sonia remembered her mother's warning and nodded. "I know, I will not rush." Yet, when Philip called that night, her voice was soft and happy. They spoke for almost 1 hour. He asked whether she had reached home safely and told her he had enjoyed talking to her. Before ending the call, he asked if he could see her the next day. Sonia agreed. The following afternoon, Philip arrived at Sonia's family house in the same luxury vehicle. The sound of the engine made neighbors look through their windows. Sonia's mother came outside, surprised to see such a large vehicle stopping in front of their compound. Philip got down carrying a bag containing drinks, food items, and gifts. Sonia came out after hearing his voice. She had not expected him to visit so soon. "You did not tell me you were coming to my house," she said quietly. "I wanted to surprise you," Philip replied. He greeted her parents respectfully and introduced himself. Sonia's father studied him carefully. You met my daughter yesterday, and today you are already in my compound, he said. Philip smiled without fear. Sir, I do not like hiding my intentions. I met Sonia yesterday, and I would like to know her better. I thought it was right to greet her family. Sonia's mother looked at her daughter, then back at Philip. His confidence impressed them, but they remained cautious. Philip stayed for a short time, spoke politely, and asked permission to take Sonia out for lunch. Sonia's father agreed, but warned them not to return late. That afternoon, Philip drove Sonia to an expensive restaurant in a nearby town. It was the first time Sonia had entered such a place. The building was beautiful, the workers were polite, and the food was more expensive than anything she would normally buy for herself. Philip told her to order whatever she wanted. Do not look at the price, he said when he saw her checking the menu carefully. I am the one paying. Sonia laughed. I do not want you to think I am wasteful. A woman should be comfortable around the man who says he cares about her. During lunch, Philip told her more about his life in Thailand. He spoke about business, travel, and the difficulties of staying far away from family. He said he had worked hard for many years and was now ready to build a home. Money is good, he told her, but when a man returns to an empty house every night, he begins to understand that money cannot do everything. Sonia listened with deep interest. So, you truly came home to look for a wife? Yes. And you believe you can choose a wife within one Christmas season? I believe that when a man knows what he wants, he does not need to waste years pretending. He reached across the table and gently touched her hand. I like you, Sonia. I do not want to frighten you, but I feel peaceful around you. Sonia's heart warmed at his words. No man had ever spoken to her with such confidence and seriousness. After lunch, Philip took her shopping. He bought her a handbag, shoes, perfume, and a beautiful dress. Sonia first refused because the items were expensive, but Philip insisted. You are not forcing me, he said. I am doing it because I want to. When she returned home with shopping bags, Adaizi's eyes opened wide. All these things in one day? Sonia tried to act calm. He said he wanted to buy them. This man is serious, Adaizi said. Their mother, however, remained cautious. Gifts are good, but they do not show the full heart of a person, she warned. Take your time and watch him. Sonia promised to be careful, but the truth was that she had already begun to think about Philip from morning till night. Over the next several days, Philip kept his word and treated her with great attention. He called her early every morning and again before she slept. He took her to restaurants, local joints, beautiful streams, and sightseeing locations. Sometimes they sat quietly beside the water and talked about life. Other times they joined his friends at parties where Philip proudly introduced her. This is Sonia, he would say. She is the reason I'm enjoying this Christmas more than every other year. His friends praised her beauty and told her Philip had spoken about her often. Sonia felt special each time he held her hand in public or opened the car door for her. He bought her clothes, jewelry, and other gifts. He gave money to her mother for Christmas food and bought drinks for her father. He also gave Adaize a mint phone, saying she was now his younger sister. The entire family began to see him as more than a stranger. One evening, while Sonia and Philip sat inside his car after returning from a party, he looked at her seriously. I do not want this Christmas to end, he said. Sonia became quiet. It will end whether we want it to or not. I know. I will soon return to Thailand. Her heart sank because she had been trying not to think about his departure. Philip noticed the sadness in her eyes. Do not look like that. I am not living your life. Many people say that before they travel, Sonia replied. Then after they leave, everything changes. I am not many people. How can I be sure? Philip held her hand. Because I will prove it. When I get back, I will keep calling you. I will arrange my work, return and speak properly with your family. I told you, I came home because I wanted a wife. Meeting you has made that decision easier. Sonia searched his face for any sign of dishonesty, but all she saw was confidence. Do you truly love me? She asked softly. Philip smiled. I do. I know how we have not known each other for long, but I know how I feel when I am with you. I want you in my life. Sonia leaned closer to him, and for that moment, she believed every word. The remaining days passed quickly. Christmas ended, New Year celebrations came, and people began to prepare to return to their different places. Philip's departure date drew closer. Sonia became more emotional. She tried to hide it, but Philip noticed. On his last evening in Ifite, he came to her family house to say goodbye. He brought more gifts and spent time with her parents. He told them he was serious about Sonia and that he would return when the time was right. Sonia's father did not give him any promise, but he told him that a man's actions were more important than his words. Philip agreed respectfully. Later, he asked Sonia to walk with him outside. They stood near his vehicle under the quiet evening sky. The festive noise had reduced and the village had started returning to normal. Philip reached into his wallet and brought out a neat complimentary card. His name, business details, and international phone number were printed on it. He placed it carefully in Sonia's hand. "Keep this card," he said. "My Thailand number is there. My other contact details are also there." Sonia heaved at the card and held it tightly. "I already have your number on my phone." "Keep the card too. Phones can spoil, but this card will help you reach me. You will call me first. I will call you as soon as I arrive." Sonia's eyes filled with tears. Philip pulled her into his arms. "Do not cry," he whispered. "This is not goodbye. I am only going to arrange things. I will come back." Sonia rested her head against his chest. "Do not forget me. I cannot forget you." The next morning, Philip left Ifiti. Sonia watched his vehicle disappear down the road, holding the complimentary card in her hand. For several days after he left, she lived on the memories they had created. She looked at the gifts he bought for her, wore the jewelry he gave her, and smiled whenever someone mentioned his name. She waited for his call, but it did not come immediately. She told herself that he might be busy traveling or settling down after the journey. After 3 days, she called the Thailand number printed on the card. It rang once and stopped. She tried again later, but the call did not connect. She was worried but still hopeful. A week later, she tried again. The number was unavailable. She checked the card many times to be sure she was dialing correctly. One afternoon, while moving her belongings from one bag to another, Sonia placed the card on a small table. Later, when she wanted to call Philip again, the card was gone. She searched the room, opened every bag, checked under the bed, and asked Adaize if she had seen it. Adaize shook her head. "Maybe you kept it inside one of your dresses." Sonia brought out all her clothes and checked them one after another. The card was nowhere to be found. She tried the number saved on her phone, but it still did not connect. Panic entered her heart. "What if he changes his number?" she asked. "He knows your number," Adaize replied. "He will call you." Sonia held on to that hope. She waited for days, then weeks. Every time her phone rang, she quickly checked the screen, expecting to see Philip's number, but it was always someone else. She asked a few people who knew him, but no one had his current contact. Some said he had returned safely to Thailand, others said they did not speak with him often. Sonia became restless and unhappy. Her mother noticed and asked what was troubling her. "It is Philip," she admitted. "I cannot reach him." Her mother sighed. "I warned you not to place your whole heart in the hands of someone you barely knew. He promised to call me. Then wait and see whether he will keep his promise." Sonia waited. 1 month passed, then 2 months. Philip did not call. She sent messages to the number she had, but none were delivered. She began to wonder whether everything had been a lie. The thought hurt her deeply, because the time they spent together had felt real. She remembered his words, his touch, his promises, and the way he had spoken to her parents. She could not understand how a man could do all that and disappear. At first, she defended him whenever Adaize suggested that he might not return. "Maybe something happened," Sonia said. "Maybe he lost his phone." "For many months," Adaize asked, "he knows where we live. He can contact someone in the village." Sonia became angry whenever anyone spoke badly about him. But as months turned into 1 year, even she could no longer explain his silence. She continued with her training, but part of her remained stuck in that Christmas season. When another December came, she secretly hoped Philip would return in the same large vehicle. She visited the festive spot again and looked at every car that entered. Philip did not come. Another year passed and still there was no word from him. People who had once asked about their relationship stopped asking. Sonia slowly stopped wearing the gifts he bought for her because they reminded her of disappointment. After 3 full years, she finally accepted that Philip was no longer part of her life. One night, she sat with Adeze outside their family house and spoke honestly for the first time. "I think I have been waiting for someone who has forgotten me," she said quietly. Adeze held her hand. "Maybe it is time to release him." Sonia's eyes filled with tears. "I loved him. I know. I thought he would come back. Sometimes people enter our lives for a short time. It hurts, but life must continue." Sonia wiped her tears and nodded. "I will not wait for him again." From that day, she forced herself to focus fully on her work. She returned to the town where she was learning her handwork and stayed with a family friend because her training place was far from Efite. She worked hard, learned quickly, and tried to rebuild the confidence she had lost. She no longer believed every sweet promise she had from men. Several men approached her, but she refused to enter another relationship because she was afraid of being disappointed again. Her life continued quietly until the day she attended the wedding of one of her close friends. The hall was beautifully decorated and guests arrived wearing colorful clothes. Sonia almost did not attend because she had work to finish, but her friend begged her to come. At the reception, Sonia sat with other young women watching the couple dance and smile. Seeing her friend so happy made her wonder whether she too would ever find someone who would stay. While she was helping to arrange gifts at one side of the hall, a calm-looking man approached her. He was neatly dressed, but unlike Philip, he did not draw attention to himself. He spoke softly and respectfully. "Excuse me," he said. "I hope I am not disturbing you." Sonia looked at him. "No, you are not. My name is Emeka. I have seen you moving around since the ceremony began, but this is the first chance I have had to speak with you." Sonia smiled politely. "I am Sonia. Are you a friend of the bride?" "Yes, we have known each other for many years." Emeka nodded. "I am related to the groom." Their conversation was simple at first. Emeka asked about her work and where she lived. Sonia answered carefully, remembering her past experience. He noticed her caution and did not push her. Before leaving, he asked for her phone number. Sonia hesitated. "I do not usually give my number to people I have just met." "That is understandable," Emeka replied, "but I would like to speak with you again. I am not asking for anything more than that." His calm answer made her feel comfortable enough to give him the number. Emeka called the next day, just as he promised. Unlike men who spoke only about her beauty, he asked about her work, her dreams, and her family. He told her he also lived in Thailand and had returned to Nigeria for a short visit. The moment Sonia heard Thailand, her heart became uneasy. "Did I say something wrong?" Emeka asked when she became quiet. "No," she replied. "I just know someone who lived there." She did not tell him more. Over the following days, Emeka continued calling. He was not loud, flashy, or full of promises. He listened more than he spoke and did not try to impress him with stories about money. When he asked to see her, he met her at a quiet restaurant and arrived on time. During their conversation, he made his intentions clear. "Sonia, I do not want to waste your time. I am not looking for a casual relationship. I am at a stage where I want to marry and build a home. I would like us to know each other with that purpose." Sonia stared at him. His words reminded her of Philip, and fear entered her heart. "A man once told me something like that," she said. "He disappeared." Emeka looked at her with concern. "I'm sorry someone treated you that way. People say many things when they want a woman to trust them." "That is true," Emeka replied. "So do not believe me because of what I say today. Watch what I do with time." Sonia appreciated his answer. She did not agree to a relationship immediately, but she allowed him to remain in her life. Emeka returned to Thailand after his visit, but unlike Philip, he stayed in contact. He called every day, sent messages, and made video calls so Sonia could see him. He remembered important details about her work and asked how her training was going. When she needed money to buy materials for her handwork, he supported her without making her feel ashamed. He also spoke with her sister and greeted her parents over the phone. Months passed, and Emeka remained consistent. Sonia's fear slowly reduced. She began to trust him and looked forward to his calls. He was not as physically attractive or as showy as Philip, but he gave her something Philip had never given her after leaving Nigeria: peace of mind. One evening, Emeka asked her directly, "Do you believe I am serious now?" Sonia smiled during the video call. "You have tried." "That is not an answer." "Yes, I believe you are serious." "Then will you allow us to plan toward marriage?" Sonia remained silent for a moment. She thought about the years she had wasted waiting for Philip and the patience Emeka had shown her. "Yes," she finally said, "I am willing." Emeka smiled with joy. "You will not regret it." Their relationship became stronger. When Emeka returned to Nigeria again, he visited Sonia's family and spoke respectfully with her parents. He did not arrive with loud music or throw money around, but he brought useful gifts and answered every question honestly. Sonia's father liked his calm nature. Her mother noticed the way he listened when Sonia spoke. After spending time with the family, Emeka asked Sonia to show him where she was staying near her training place. When he saw that she was squatting in a crowded house with other people and traveling a long distance to work, he became concerned. "You cannot continue like this," he said. "I am managing," Sonia replied. "I know, but you deserve to be comfortable." A few days later, Emeka took her to see a clean apartment closer to her workplace. The sitting room was small but beautiful. The bedroom was comfortable and the kitchen had enough space. Sonia looked around in confusion. "Why are we here?" she asked. Emeka smiled and handed her the keys. "Because this place is for you." Sonia stared at him. "For me?" "Yes, I have paid the rent." "Emeka, you did not tell me." "I wanted it to be a surprise. You should stop squatting with people. From here, you can easily go to your workplace. And whenever I return to Nigeria, I can stay here instead of wasting money in hotels." Sonia's eyes filled with tears. "This is too much." "It is not too much. We are planning to marry. I am not doing it for a stranger." Sonia walked through the apartment again, touching the walls and imagining how she would arrange everything. For the first time since Philip disappeared, she felt that a man was not only speaking about a future, but also preparing for it. Emeka helped her buy a bed, a small sofa, cooking utensils, curtains, and other basic things. When Sonia moved in, her family came to see the apartment. Her mother prayed for her, and Adiaze teased her about becoming a married woman before the wedding. Sonia laughed freely, feeling safe and hopeful. Before Emeka returned to Nigeria, he sat with Sonia in the new sitting room and held both her hands. "When I come back again, we will begin the proper marriage plans. I want us to do the traditional marriage and the white wedding. We will speak with both families and choose the dates." Sonia smiled, though tears gathered in her eyes. "Do not stay away for too long. I will work hard and return as soon as I can. Promise me." "I promise." Sonia leaned against him, believing she had finally found the stability and love she had been praying for. After Emeka left Nigeria, she began to imagine her wedding day. She pictured herself in a beautiful dress, walking beside him while her family and friends celebrated. She thought about the colors they would use, the kind of food they would serve, and the home they would build together. She no longer waited for Philip or expected him to return. In her mind, the past was finished, and Emeka was now the man she would marry. But Sonia did not know that the man she had forced herself to forget was not as far away as she believed. She also did not know that Philip was connected to Emeka in a way that would soon bring the past back into her life, because the stranger she had once loved was the one man Emeka trusted more than anyone else.
3 years passed after Emeka returned to Thailand, yet Sonia continued to live in the apartment he had rented for her, holding tightly to the promise that he would come back and make her his wife. At first, she believed he would return within a few months. She carefully arranged the sitting room, bought small decorations, kept the bedroom neat, and always imagined how Emeka would smile when he returned and saw how well she had cared for the place. Whenever she cooked, she sometimes pictured him sitting at the dining table and eating with her. Whenever she passed a shop selling wedding materials, she slowed down to look at the fabrics, shoes, decorations, and beautiful white dresses displayed behind the glass. She had already chosen several wedding colors in her mind. Some days she wanted gold and cream, while on other days she imagined herself wearing deep red and white. She saved pictures of wedding cakes and bridal gowns on her phone and sometimes sent them to Emeka. "Which one do you like?" she would ask during their video calls. Emeka would smile and study the pictures carefully before answering. "The one you like is the one I will like. You will be the bride, so you should choose what makes you happy." His answer always pleased her. "You cannot leave everything for me," Sonia would complain playfully. "You are also part of the wedding." "My own duty is to come home, marry you, and make sure you are smiling," Emeka would reply. "Then come home quickly." "I am trying, Sonia. I do not want to rush home without arranging things properly. Marriage is not only about the ceremony. I want us to have peace after the celebration is over." Whenever he spoke like that, Sonia became calm again. She believed him because he continued to show concern for her life. He paid some of her bills, sent money for her training, and asked questions about every step of her work. When she needed new equipment, Emeka helped her buy it. When her mother became sick for a short time, Emeka sent money for medicine and called the family several times to ask about her condition. Sonia's father respected him more because of that. Her mother often said, "This man may not be standing beside you physically, but his heart is here. Be patient with him." Sonia tried to be patient, but waiting was not always easy. As the first year turned into the second, and the second slowly became the third, fear began to grow inside her. She sometimes wondered whether another woman had entered Emeka's life in Thailand. She wondered whether he had changed his mind and was only keeping her because he did not know how to end the relationship. On lonely nights, she sat in the apartment and stared at the empty chair opposite her. The house that once made her feel secure sometimes made her feel abandoned. Her friends asked when Emeka was coming. Some teased her that she had been calling herself a future bride for too long. Others warned her not to waste her youth waiting for a man abroad. Sonia laughed whenever they spoke, but their words followed her home. One evening, after waiting for Emeka's call for almost 2 hours, Sonia became angry. When he finally called, she did not greet him warmly. "So you have remembered me?" Emeka looked tired on the video call. "I am sorry, I was at work and we had a problem that took longer than I expected." "There is always a problem." "What do you mean?" "It is work today, business tomorrow, one problem next week, another problem the following month. Emeka, do you still want this marriage?" Emeka became calm a moment. "Why are you asking me that?" "Because it has been years. You keep saying you are coming, but you do not come. I am here waiting while people are asking me questions I cannot answer." "Sonia, I have explained everything to you. I am working to put things in order." "How many years does it take to put things in order?" she asked, her voice shaking. Emeka breathed deeply. "I understand that you are tired. I am tired too. Do you think I enjoy staying far away from you? Do you think I do not want to return? I am not delaying because I do not love you. I am delaying because I do not want us to marry and begin suffering immediately." Sonia looked away from the screen. "Sometimes it feels as if I am alone in this relationship." "You are not alone. I call you every day. I support you. I speak with your family. I have never hidden you from anyone. Phone calls are not the same as having you here." "I know," Emeka said gently. "Please give me a little more time. I am working on something important. When it is settled, I will come home and we will do everything we have planned." His calm voice slowly reduced her anger. Sonia wiped the corner of her eye. "Do not make me wait forever." "I will not," Emeka promised. "You are the woman I want to marry." Sonia nodded, though worry remained in her heart. During their many conversations, Emeka often spoke about a close friend he trusted in Thailand. He talked about the man so often that Sonia began to recognize the stories even though she had never met him. "My friend bought another car today," Emeka said during a call. "This man never rests. He works as if he has 10 people depending on him. Sonia laughed. Maybe 10 people truly depend on him. That is possible. He knows how to make money and how to invest it. I learned many things from him. You always praise this friend of yours. Is he the only successful person in Thailand? Emeka smiled. He is not the only successful person, but he is my closest friend. We have known each other for years. We have supported each other through difficult times. What is his name? Sonia asked casually. Emeka paused briefly before answering. Do not worry about his name. One day you will meet him. Sonia did not think deeply about the answer. To her, Emeka's friend was simply another man living abroad, someone connected to business matters that did not concern her. Whenever Emeka began describing a deal his friend had made or a car he had bought, Sonia listened for a few minutes and then changed the subject. She was more interested in hearing when Emeka would return than learning about someone she did not know. Instead of telling me about your friend's success every day, tell me when you are coming home. Emeka laughed. You are jealous of my friend. Why should I be jealous of a man I have never seen? Because I talk about him too much. Then stop talking about him and talk about our wedding. Our wedding will happen, Emeka assured her. Do not worry. Sonia believed that Emeka's friend had no place in her personal life, and she never imagined that the man was connected to a part of her past she had struggled for years to forget. One afternoon, Emeka called while Sonia was returning from her workplace. His voice was cheerful. My wife, where are you? He asked. Sonia smiled despite herself. He often called her his wife, even though the marriage had not yet happened. I'm on my way home. Did you have a good day? It was stressful, but I'm fine. I need you to help me with something. What is it? Emeka explained that he missed Nigerian food badly. He said some ingredients were difficult to find in Thailand, and the few shops that sold them charged too much money. There's a friend of mine in Nigeria now. He will be returning soon. I want you to buy some things and give them to him so he can bring them for me. Sonia smiled. Is it that same wonderful friend you're always praising? Yes, it is him. So at last I will meet the famous man. Emeka laughed. You will only give him the things. He is preparing to travel and may not have time to sit and talk. What do you want me to buy? Emeka listed dried fish, dried pepper, local spices, crayfish, ground seeds, dried vegetables, and other food items he enjoyed. Sonia listened carefully and wrote everything down on a piece of paper. Are you sure they will allow him to carry all these? He knows how to pack them. Just make sure everything is dry and properly sealed. When does he need them? He will call you. I have already given him your number. Sonia frowned slightly. You gave my number to him without telling me first. He is my closest friend, Sonia. There is nothing to worry. I understand. I am sorry. He will only contact you about the items. Sonia accepted the apology and promised to begin shopping the next morning. She spent 2 days moving from one market to another to find everything Emeka requested. She checked the quality of the dried fish, selected fresh-looking spices, and made sure all the ingredients were properly packed. She even bought a few extra things she knew Emeka liked but had not mentioned. As she walked, she felt like a caring wife preparing food for her husband. The thought made her smile. She placed everything in a large travel bag and sent Emeka pictures. See what your wife has done for you, she said proudly. Emeka was pleased. This is why I love you. You always take care of me. Then come home and allow me to take care of you properly. Soon, he promised again. 2 days later, Sonia received a call from an unfamiliar Nigerian number. She answered carefully. Hello? A deep male voice replied. Good afternoon. Am I speaking with Sonia? Yes. Who is this? I am Emeka's friend. He said you have some items for me to take back to Thailand. Sonia did not recognize the voice, but she had no reason to be suspicious. Yes, the things are ready. Good. My flight is tomorrow and I am still arranging my luggage. Can you bring them today? Where are you staying? The man mentioned the name of a hotel in the city and told her he would send the full address by message. I may not be able to come downstairs because I'm expecting someone and packing at the same time. When you arrive, call me and I will direct you to my room. Sonia paused. She did not like the idea of going to a strange man's hotel room, but she reminded herself that this was Emeka's trusted friend. Cannot you meet me at the reception? I can try, but I am very busy. Do not worry. I will leave the door open when you are close. You are like my friend's wife, so there is nothing uncomfortable about it. His words made Sonia relax a little. I will come in the afternoon. She informed Emeka that his friend had called and that she would deliver the items. Emeka replied with a thumbs-up sign and thanked her. Sonia dressed simply, placed the travel bag in a hired car and left for the hotel. The journey took longer than she expected because of traffic. She sat in the back seat looking through the window and thinking about how happy Emeka would be when the food arrived. She had no idea that every kilometer she traveled was taking her closer to the greatest test of her loyalty. When she reached the hotel, she paid the driver and dragged the heavy bag toward the entrance. The hotel was large, quiet, and expensive. A security guard opened the door for her, and cool air touched her face as she entered the reception area. Sonia called the number again. "I'm outside," she said. "Are you at the reception?" the man asked. "Yes." "Take the lift to the 4th floor. My room is number 408. "Can you not come down and help me with this bag? It is heavy." "I'm sorry. Give me 2 minutes. I'm trying to close another bag. The lift will bring you close to the room." Sonia sighed but agreed. One of the hotel workers helped her place the bag inside the lift. When the doors opened on the 4th floor, she dragged it along the quiet corridor, looking at the numbers on each door. Her heart beat normally because she expected nothing unusual. She stopped in front of room 408 and called again. "I'm at the door." "All right," the man answered. "I'm coming." Sonia heard footsteps from inside. The lock turned and the door slowly opened. For 1 second, she thought her eyes were playing a cruel trick on her. The man standing before her looked older and more mature than the person she remembered, but the face was the same, the eyes were the same, the confident posture, the neat beard, and the expensive wristwatch were all familiar. Sonia's hand slipped from the handle of the travel bag. Her mouth opened, but no sound came out. Philip stood frozen in the doorway, staring at her with equal shock. The smile that had been on his face disappeared. He looked at Sonia from head to toe as if he was trying to be certain she was real. "Sonia," he whispered. Hearing him call her name broke something inside her. Her eyes filled with tears immediately. "Philip," she answered. Neither of them moved. The quiet hotel corridor seemed to disappear around them. Sonia forgot about the food items, the wedding plans, and the man waiting in Thailand. She saw only the stranger from that Christmas season, the man whose memory had lived inside her for years. Philip looked behind her and then stepped aside. "Come in," he said softly. Sonia remained at the door. "You are Emeka's friend?" "Come inside first. People are passing." Sonia slowly dragged the bag inside the room. The doors closed and the sound made her heart beat faster. The room was neat, with an open suitcase on the bed and clothes folded beside it. Sonia stood near the door, staring at Philip as if you might disappear again. Philip shook his head in disbelief. "I cannot believe this." "Neither can I," replied Sonia. "You are the woman Emeka has been talking about?" he asked. Sonia swallowed hard. "Yes, I am his fiancé." Philip turned away for a moment and rubbed his forehead. "This is unbelievable." "And you are the friend he is always praising?" "Yes." Sonia felt dizzy. She sat on a chair without being invited because her legs had become weak. Philip remained standing, watching her closely. "What happened to you?" he asked. "What do you mean?" "You disappeared. I gave you my card. I waited for your call." Sonia looked at him in pain. "I called. Your number did not connect. Then I lost the card." "You lost it?" "Yes. I searched everywhere. I tried the number saved on my phone many times, but it stopped working." Philip slowly sat opposite her. "I changed that line after I returned. There was a problem with it." "Then why did you not call me?" Sonia demanded, her voice rising. "You had my number. You knew my village. You visited my parents. Why did you disappear?" Philip looked away for a moment, appearing troubled. "I lost my phone during a trip. Many contacts were gone. I tried asking some people about you, but nobody gave me a clear answer." "That cannot be true," Sonia said. "You knew people in Ifite. You could have found me if you truly wanted to." Philip sighed. "You are right. Maybe I did not try hard enough. I was dealing with many things at that time. Business problems came up and I was moving from place to place. But I never forgot you." Sonia's eyes filled with more tears. "Do you know how long I waited?" "How long?" 3 years. I waited for you for 3 years before I allowed myself to move on." Philip stared at her silently. "I thought you had forgotten me," Sonia continued. "I thought everything you told me was a lie. Every Christmas I looked for your car. I hoped you would return, but you never came." Philip leaned forward and lowered his voice. "I'm sorry." Sonia wiped her face angrily. "Sorry cannot return those years." "I know. And now I find you like this, in the room of the man I'm supposed to marry?" Philip shook his head again. "I cannot believe you are Emeka's Sonia. He has spoken many times about you, but I never knew it was you." Sonia looked at him carefully. "Has he never shown you my picture?" Philip hesitated briefly, then answered, "Maybe he did once, but I did not look closely. We talk about many things." Sonia accepted the answer because her mind was too full of emotion to question it deeply. Philip asked her to sit comfortably and offered her a drink. She refused at first, but he brought water and placed it beside her. "How have you been? What do you expect me to say? Tell me about your life. Tell me how you met Emeka."
Sonia explained that she met Emeka at a friend's wedding after giving up hope of ever hearing from Philip. She told him about Emeka's kindness, the apartment, the financial support, and the promise of marriage. Philip listened without interrupting. His face remained calm, but his eyes studied every change in Sonia's expression. "So, you love him?" he asked when she finished. Sonia looked down at her hand. "He is a good man." "That is not what I asked. What do you want me to say?" "I said he is good to me," Sonia replied defensively. "He has done many things for me. He cares about my family. He wants to marry me." "But do you love him?" Philip repeated.
Sonia breathed deeply. "I have learned to care about him." Philip gave a small, sad smile. "That is still not love." "What difference does it make? Love did not help me when you disappeared." "Sonia, I did not know where to find you." "And I did not know where to find you. I had to continue with my life." "I understand, but I can see it in your face. You do not speak about Emeka the way a woman speaks about the man she truly loves." Sonia became uncomfortable. "You should not say that. He is your friend." "That is why I'm asking. I know Emeka. I know his good side and I know his weaknesses. But this is not about him. This is about you and me." Sonia looked at Philip sharply. "There is no you and me anymore." "Are you sure?" The question entered her heart like a blade. Sonia wanted to say yes immediately, but the word refused to come. Philip moved from his chair and sat closer to her. "Look at me," he said. Sonia lifted her eyes slowly. "Tell me that you felt nothing when I opened this door." Sonia could not answer. Philip continued, "Tell me that you did not remember everything we had. Tell me you have never wondered what our lives would have become if we had not lost contact." Sonia's lips trembled. "I wondered every day for years." "And now?" "Now I am with Emeka." That is not an answer. Tears rolled down Sonia's cheeks. "Why are you doing this to me?" "Because seeing you again has brought back everything I buried. Sonia, I loved you." "Then why did you not look for me?" she cried. "Why did you allow me to believe you abandoned me?" Philip reached for her hand. Sonia allowed him to hold it. "I made a mistake," he said softly. "I should have tried harder. I should have returned. But I'm here now." Sonia pulled her hand away. "You are here as my fiancé's friend. And you are here as the woman I once wanted to marry." The room became quiet. Sonia's mind told her to stand up, leave the bag, and walk away before anything happened. But her heart remained tied to the memories of Christmas, expensive gifts, laughter, and dreams of living abroad with Philip. Philip still carried the same confidence that had first attracted her. Compared to him, Emeka suddenly seemed too quiet and ordinary. The thought made her feel guilty, but she could not stop it. Philip noticed the struggle on her face. "Be honest with me," he said. "If I had not disappeared, would you have married Emeka?" Sonia shook her head slowly. "No." "Who would you have married? You know the answer." "Say it." Sonia looked into his eyes. "I would have married you." Philip smiled gently. "Then maybe life has brought us together again for a reason." Sonia stood up quickly. "No, do not say that. Emeka has been good to me." "I'm not saying he is bad. He rented a house for me. He supports my work. He has waited for me." "And you should marry him because he paid rent?" Philip asked. Sonia frowned. "That is not what I said." "Then why do you speak only about the things he has done? You have not said once that you cannot live without him." Sonia became angry because Philip's words touched the truth she did not want to face. "At least he did not disappear for years." "I already told you I made a mistake. A painful mistake. And I want to correct it." Sonia stared at him. "How?" Philip rose and stood close to her. "Leave Emeka." Sonia stepped back. "What?" "Leave him and come back to me." "You are talking about your best friend." "I know. You want me to break the heart of a man who trusts you?" "I want you to choose the person you truly love. If that person is Emeka, then walk out of this room and forget what I have said. But if it is me, do not marry him because you feel grateful." Sonia's breathing became unsteady. "You cannot ask me to make such a decision in one day. I'm not asking you to answer immediately. I'm asking whether you still love me." Sonia closed her eyes. "Yes," she whispered. Philip moved closer. "Say it again." Sonia opened her eyes and looked at him. "I never stopped loving you. I only forced myself to move on because I thought you were gone." Philip held her face gently. "I never stopped thinking about you either."
Sonia knew she should pull away, but she did not. All the years of waiting, anger, unanswered questions, and hidden feelings rose inside her at once. Philip embraced her, and Sonia rested against him as she had done on the night before he left Ifite. She began to cry. "You hurt me," sharp she said. "I know," Philip replied. "I am sorry." He lifted her face and wiped her tears. Their eyes met, and the distance between them slowly disappeared. Sonia's conscience warned her about Emeka, but the warning became weak under the power of old emotions. Philip kissed her, and after a brief moment of resistance, Sonia kissed him back. What began as a reunion filled with tears soon became a terrible betrayal. The food items Emeka had asked her to bring remained forgotten beside the door, while Sonia crossed a boundary she could never easily erase. Later, when the room became quiet again, Sonia sat at the edge of the bed, unable to look at Philip. Shame settled heavily on her heart. She thought about Emeka calling her his wife. She remembered the apartment, his patience, and the way he had supported her family. "What have I done?" she whispered. Philip sat beside her and touched her shoulder. "Do not regret it." Sonia pulled away. "How can I not regret it? Emeka trusts both of us." "Listen to me," Philip said. "You did this because you still love me. That truth would have come out one day even if we had not met here. That does not make it right. Maybe not, but marrying a man you do not truly love would also be wrong." Sonia covered her face with her hands. "What happens now?" Philip remained quiet for a few seconds before answering.
"Leave him." Sonia looked at him in fear. "You are serious?" "Yes, end the relationship and marry me. How do I know you will not disappear again?" "I will not. I am more settled now. I have enough money, strong businesses, and a clear plan for my future. I came home because I was thinking about marriage. Seeing you again has made everything clear. You said that before. This time, I will prove it." Philip promised to send her money for another apartment so she would no longer live in the house Emeka rented. He told her he would speak to his family and return to Nigeria to marry her once she ended everything with Emeka. Sonia listened, still frightened by what she had done, but the thought of finally becoming Philip's wife slowly covered her guilt. Before she left the hotel, Philip held her and said, "Do not tell Emeka that you saw me today." Sonia stared at him. "Why?" "Because I want you to end the relationship peacefully. There's no need to tell him details that will only hurt him." "But you are taking his food to Thailand." "I will carry it. Nothing has changed about the journey." Sonia felt uncomfortable, but she agreed. She left the hotel with empty hands and a heart full of confusion. On her way home, Emeka called. Sonia stared at his name on the screen for several seconds before answering. "Hello," she said weakly. "Did you deliver the things?" "Yes." "Was my friend there?" "Yes." "Did everything go well?" Sonia closed her eyes. "Everything went well." "Thank you, my wife. You have made me happy." The kindness in his voice almost made her confess, but fear stopped her. "You are welcome," she replied. "You sound tired. Are you all right?" "I had a long day." "Go home and rest. I love you." Sonia struggled to answer. "All right, good night." She ended the call without saying that she loved him too. That night, she could not sleep. She moved from one side of the bed to the other, remembering both men. She remembered Emeka's steady care and Philip's passionate promises. She felt guilty, but she also felt alive in a way she had not felt for years. The next morning, Philip sent her a message before traveling. "I meant everything I said. I want you. Do not be afraid." He also sent a large amount of money to her bank account. Sonia stared at the alert in shock. It was far more than Emeka usually sent for her needs. Philip called shortly after. "Use some of it for yourself," he said. "Keep the rest. When you are ready to leave Emeka's apartment, I will send more." "You do not need to send this much," Sonia replied. "I want you to know that I can take care of you. Money is not the only thing I need. I know. I will give you love, marriage, and the life we should have had from the beginning." Those words weakened her resistance. After Philip returned to Thailand, Philip called Sonia often. At first, their conversations were secret and brief. She deleted his messages and saved his number under a woman's name so Emeka would not suspect anything if he ever saw her phone. Philip sent her pictures of expensive cars, business places, and beautiful locations. He spoke about the kind of house they would have and the life she would enjoy as his wife. "You will not struggle. You will have your own business. I will buy you a car. You will travel with me." Sonia began to dream again. Whenever she compared Philip's bold promises with Emeka's repeated requests for patience, she became more impatient with Emeka. Her attitudes changed slowly at first. She no longer answered his calls immediately. She sometimes ignored video calls because she had just spoken with Philip and did not want Emeka to see the confusion on her face. When Emeka asked about her day, she gave short answers. When he discussed wedding plans, she changed the subject. One evening, Emeka called and found her unusually cold. "Sonia, what is happening?" he asked. "Nothing. You have been saying nothing for weeks, but you are no longer the same person. I am tired." "Tired of work or tired of me?" Emeka became irritated. "Why are you asking me too many questions?" "Because I care about you. You no longer smile during our calls. You avoid me. Sometimes I call and you do not answer until the following day. I have a life, Emeka. I cannot hold my phone every minute." "I know, but this is different. Did I offend you?" "No." "Is anyone troubling you?" "No." "Then what is wrong?" "I said nothing is wrong," Sonia snapped. Emeka became quiet. "You do not need to shout at me." Sonia immediately felt guilty, but instead of apologizing properly, she said, "I am stressed. Let us talk another time." She ended the call and placed the phone on the bed. A few minutes later, Philip called. Sonia answered with a softer voice. "Hello?" Philip asked. "Were you speaking with him?" "Yes." "Have you told him?" "Not yet." Philip sighed. "Sonia, what are you waiting for?" "It is not easy. He has done nothing wrong." "Then you want to marry him while you love me?" "I did not say that. You cannot keep both of us. You need to decide." "Give me time." "I have given you time. I am serious about you, but I do not want to continue hiding like a thief." Philip's words put more pressure on her. He reminded her that she had already betrayed Emeka, and remaining in the relationship would only make the situation worse. Sonia began to believe that the only way to correct everything was to leave Emeka and choose Philip completely. One weekend, she traveled home to visit her family. Adieze noticed immediately that something was wrong. Sonia was restless, distracted, and always checking her phone. When Philip called, she moved away from everyone before answering. Adieze watched her carefully. That night, while they were alone in their room, she asked, "Who have you been talking to?" Sonia avoided her eyes. "Nobody." "Do not lie to me. You hide whenever the person calls. It is not Emeka because you answer his calls in front of us." Sonia remained silent. Adieze sat beside her. "Sonia, what have you done?" The concern in her sister's voice broke her resistance. Sonia began to cry. "I saw Philip." Adieze stared at her in shock. "Which Philip?" "The man I met that Christmas." "How?" Sonia explained how Emeka asked her to deliver food items to his friend and how the friend turned out to be Philip. Adieze listened with wide eyes. "Philip is Emeka's best friend?" "Yes." "What happened in the hotel?" Sonia lowered her head. Adieze understood without being told. She stood up immediately. "Sonia, no. Tell me you did not do what I am thinking." Sonia cried harder. "I was confused. I still love him." "You slept with Emeka's friend?" Adieze asked in disbelief. "Please, lower your voice." "You are worried about my voice? What about what you have done?" "I did not plan it." "But you allowed it." Sonia wiped her tears. "Philip said he still loves me. He wants me to leave Emeka and marry him." Adieze shook her head slowly. "And you believe him? He has been sending money. He said he will come back and make everything official." "Was that not what he said the first time before he disappeared?" "This time is different." "How is it different?" "He is more settled now. He knows what he wants." Adieze looked at her sister with disappointment. "What about Emeka? That man rented a house for you. He supported your work. He treated our parents with respect. He has been planning to marry you for years. I know he is a good man. Then why are you doing this?" Sonia's expression hardened. "Because being good is not enough. I do not feel for Emeka what I feel for Philip." Adieze sat down again, shocked by the coldness in her voice. Sonia continued. "Emeka is not the kind of man I truly wanted. I accepted him because I thought Philip was gone forever. Philip is handsome, confident, successful, and knows how to enjoy life. When I'm with him, I feel something strong. So because Emeka is quiet, you now think he is not good enough? It is not only that. Then what is it?" Sonia hesitated before speaking. "Emeka is not very attractive to me. He's not stylish. He's not even as tall as I would like. Sometimes when we stand together, I feel too tall beside him." Adieze stared at her in disbelief.
You want to throw away a marriage because you feel taller than the man? Do not make it sound foolish. It is foolish, Adieze replied. You accepted him. You allowed him to introduce himself to our family. You collected his support and lived in the house he rented. Now that another man has shown you more money, you suddenly remember that Emeka is not tall enough? Sonia became angry. I am not choosing Philip only because of money. Then why do you keep mentioning his cars, his business, and how successful he is? Because those things matter too. I want a comfortable life. Emeka is also doing well, not like Philip. Adieze held her head in frustration. Sonia, you are walking into danger. A man who truly respects his friend will not secretly sleep with the woman his friend wants to marry. Philip has already shown you the kind of person he is. You do not understand our history. History does not excuse betrayal. Their voices became loud enough for their mother to hear. She entered the room and demanded to know what was happening. At first, Sonia refused to speak, but Adieze told her that their mother needed to know. Sonia finally confessed that Philip had returned to her life and wanted to marry her. She did not give every detail about what happened in the hotel, but her mother understood that the situation was serious. This Philip is Emeka's friend, her mother asked. Yes. And you are thinking of leaving Emeka for him? Sonia nodded. Her mother sat down slowly, looking deeply troubled. My daughter, do not do this. Mama, I love Philip. Love does not ask you to destroy an innocent person. I cannot marry a man I do not truly love. Then why did you accept Emeka's proposal? Why did you allow him to carry your responsibilities? Why did you live in the house he rented? Sonia had no good answer. Her father was later called into the discussion. When he heard what had happened, anger filled his face. I warned you about men who return from abroad and make big promises. Now you want to leave a responsible man because the first one has returned with more money? Papa, it is not like that. Then explain it. Philip was the man I loved first. We only separated because we lost contact. And now he found you through his friend, and instead of respecting that friend, he is asking you to leave him? Her father asked. Sonia remained silent. That should tell you everything about Philip's character, her father continued. A good man does not build his happiness on the pain of someone who trusts him. Sonia shook her head. You people do not understand. Philip said he wants to correct what happened between us. What happened between you was finished. You are the one opening the door again. Her father warned her that leaving Emeka in such a shameful way could bring deep regret. He told her that money and appearance could disappear, but character would remain. Her mother reminded her that Philip had once vanished without explanation, while Emeka had stayed in contact for years. Adieze begged her not to make a decision she could not reverse. Sonia listened, but her heart had already begun to reject every warning. She felt that her family wanted her to settle for a man she did not desire. She believed they cared more about Emeka's kindness than her happiness. It is my life, she finally said. I am the one who will live with the man. I cannot marry Emeka only because he paid rent and supported me. Her father's face became hard. Nobody is asking you to marry him because of money. We're asking you not to betray a man who trusted you. I have made mistakes, Sonia admitted, but I cannot continue pretending. What will you do? Her mother asked, fearfully. Sonia looked away. I will end the relationship. Adieze stood up. Think carefully before you say that. I have thought about it. No, you have been listening to Philip. Philip is the man I love. Her father rose from his seat. Do not come to us later and say nobody warned you. Sonia's eyes filled with tears, but she refused to change her mind. She returned to the apartment the following day with a heavy heart. The rooms were full of reminders of Emeka. The sofa he bought stood in the sitting room. The curtains he selected moved gently in the evening breeze. The cooking pot, bed, and small television were all signs of the future he had tried to build with her. Sonia walked from one room to another, feeling the weight of the decision she was about to make. For a moment, she almost called Emeka and confessed everything. She imagined his pain and shame, and her courage failed her. Then Philip called. Have you spoken to him? She asked. Not yet. Sonia, you need to decide. I cannot keep waiting while you remain in another man's house. My family is against it. They will understand when we marry. People always resist change at first. They said you are not a good friend to Emeka. Philip became quiet for a second. This is not about friendship. This is about the woman I love. I made the mistake of losing you once. I will not lose you again. Are you truly going to marry me? Yes, once you end things with Emeka, I will begin making plans. I will send you enough money to move out of that apartment. You will not lack anything. Promise me you will not disappear. I promise. After the call ended, Sonia sat alone in the sitting room until night came. She looked at her phone, opened Emeka's contact, and read some of his old messages. There were promises, prayers, and loving words. One message said, "Thank you for waiting for me. I will make everything worth it." Sonia began to cry. She knew Emeka did not deserve what she was preparing to do. Yet the thought of losing Philip a second time frightened her more than the thought of hurting Emeka. She convinced herself that remaining with Emeka would be unfair because her heart belonged elsewhere. She told herself that a painful truth was better than a false marriage. She ignored the fact that she had already lied, betrayed, and disrespected the man who trusted her. Late that night, Sonia wiped her tears and made her final decision. She would no longer allow fear, gratitude, or family pressure to keep her with Emeka. She would call him, end their engagement, leave the apartment he rented, and place her future completely in Philip's hands. For several days, after making her decision, Sonia moved around the apartment like someone carrying a heavy load inside her chest. She had told herself that ending the relationship with Emeka was the right thing to do. Yet each time she picked up her phone to call him, her courage disappeared. She remembered the calm way he spoke to her, the support he had given her, the apartment he had rented, and the many promises they had made to each other. She knew he would ask questions, and she knew she had no honest answer that would not expose her betrayal. Philip called her every day and kept reminding her that she had to choose. "Sonia, you cannot continue living in another man's house while telling me that you love me," he said during one of their calls. Sonia sat on the edge of the bed, staring at the floor. "I know. I am trying to find the right way to tell him." "There is no perfect way to end a relationship," Philip replied. "You just have to be strong. Tell him you are no longer interested. You do not need to explain everything. He will ask me what happened. Tell him you are tired. But that is not the only reason. He does not need to know every reason. The important thing is that you do not love him the way you love me." Sonia closed her eyes. "I feel guilty." "You will feel worse if you marry him and spend the rest of your life wishing you are with me." Philip's words settled in her mind. He made her believe she was not betraying Emeka but freeing herself from a future she did not truly want. Each time her conscience troubled her, Philip covered it with promises of marriage, wealth, travel, and a beautiful life abroad. He told her that when they married, he would help her open a large business. He promised to buy her a car and build a house that would make people respect her. Sonia listened until her fear began to look smaller than her dreams. One evening, after Philip had called again and demanded to know when she would act, Sonia finally decided she could no longer delay. She sat alone in the sitting room while rain fell lightly outside. The apartment was quiet, and the soft sound of water against the windows made the room feel colder. She held her phone for a long time and stared at Emeka's name. Her fingers trembled as she pressed the call button. The phone rang several times before Emeka answered with his usual warm voice. "My wife, good evening." Sonia felt pain when he called her that, but she forced herself to remain strong. "Good evening, Emeka. How are you? You sound serious." "I need to talk to you." Emeka became quiet for a moment. "All right, I am listening." Sonia took a deep breath. "I do not want this relationship again." Silence followed. Sonia could hear faint sounds in the background, but Emeka said nothing. "Did you hear me?" she asked. "I heard you," he replied slowly. "I am trying to understand what you just said." "I said I am tired. I do not want to continue." "Emeka, what happened?" "Nothing happened. People do not wake up and end a marriage plan for no reason. We are not married yet. We have been planning to marry for years. I rented a home for us. I have spoken with your family. You agreed to everything. Why are you suddenly speaking like this?" Sonia looked around the apartment and felt trapped by every item Emeka had bought. "You have taken too long to return. I have been waiting and waiting. I am tired."
We have discussed this many times, Emeka replied. His voice was calm, but the pain inside it was clear. I explained why I was delayed. I never abandoned you. I called you every day. I supported you. I kept you informed about my plans. Phone calls are not enough. I know they are not enough, but I was preparing for us. I do not want to wait anymore. Emeka breathed deeply. If the waiting is the problem, then let us fix it. I can come home sooner than planned. We can speak with both families and choose a date. Sonia's heart tightened. A part of her wanted to accept, but Philip's face came into her mind. No, she said firmly. I do not want it again. Sonia, look at what you are saying. Yesterday we were discussing our future. Today you are telling me it is over. Did I offend you? No. Did I fail to send something you needed? No. Did anyone tell you something bad about me? No. Then what changed? Sonia became irritated because every question made her feel more guilty. Must something happen before a person changes her mind? A person can change her mind, but there should be honesty. You owe me at least that. I have told you the truth. I am tired. That is not the whole truth. Sonia stood up and walked around the sitting room. Emeka, please do not make this difficult. I am not the one making it difficult. You are ending years of plans with one phone call and refusing to tell me why. What else do you want me to say? Tell me whether there is another man. The question made Sonia stop moving. Her heart began to beat faster. She looked toward the bedroom as if Philip could somehow be standing there. There is nobody else, she lied. Emeka remained silent. Are you sure? He asked. Yes. Look into your heart before you answer me again. Is another man involved? I said no. Then why are you avoiding my calls? Why do you speak to me as if I am disturbing you? Why did your behavior change after you met my friend at the hotel? Sonia's body became cold. What are you trying to say? I am asking a simple question. I delivered the things you asked me to deliver, that is all. Did anything happen there? No. The lie came quickly, but Sonia's voice shook. Emeka noticed it. You do not sound like yourself. Because you are questioning me like a criminal. I am questioning you like a man whose future is being destroyed without an explanation. Sonia wiped tears from her eyes. I have made my decision. I am moving out of the apartment. Send someone to collect the keys. Sonia, calm down. There is nothing to calm down about. Please do not do something you will regret. I will not regret it. Think about the years we have spent together. Think about everything we planned. Think about the home I prepared for us. That is why I'm telling you now instead of waiting until after marriage. Emeka's voice broke slightly. So all those years meant nothing to you? I did not say that. Then what are you saying? I am saying I do not feel happy anymore. When did that unhappiness begin? Sonia could not answer. Emeka waited for several seconds before speaking again. I will not force you to marry me, he said quietly. Marriage cannot survive where one person is hiding the truth. But I want to ask you one final time. Is another man? Sonia closed her eyes and held the phone tightly. No. Are you telling me the truth? Yes. Emeka exhaled slowly. All right. His sudden calmness frightened her more than anger would have. I will ask someone to collect the keys when you are ready. Take whatever belongs to you. Leave the things I bought for the house. I will. I hope the decision you are making gives you the happiness you are looking for. Sonia's tears fell freely, but she kept her voice cold. Thank you. Goodbye, Sonia. Goodbye. The call ended and Sonia stood in the middle of the sitting room with the phone still pressed against her ear. For several moments, she could not move. The apartment seemed to become completely silent. The rain outside continued, but Sonia heard only Emeka's final words in her mind. She had expected him to shout, insult her, or threaten her. Instead, he had released her with dignity, and that made her feel worse. She sat on the floor and cried. She remembered the first time Emeka handed her the keys to the apartment. She remembered the joy on his face when she agreed to marry him. She remembered every time he called her his wife. Yet, even as the guilt broke her heart, another feeling rose inside her. She was free to choose Philip. She quickly wiped her tears and called Philip. Philip answered immediately. "My love, have you done it?" he asked. Sonia's voice was weak. "Yes." "You have ended it?" "Yes." "I told Emeka I am no longer interested." Philip laughed with joy. "That is my woman. I knew you would choose what is right for your heart." Sonia did not share his excitement. He was hurt. He will recover. People end relationships every day. He asked whether there was another man. "What did you tell him?" "I said no." "Good. There was no need to create unnecessary trouble." Sonia frowned. "You sound too happy." "Of course I am happy. The woman I love is finally free. Now we can begin our life without hiding." "You have promised that you will marry me." "And I will." "I have given up everything for you." "You have not given up anything. You have chosen something better." The next morning, Sonia received a bank alert that made her sit up in surprise. Philip had sent her several million naira. She called him immediately. "Why did you send so much money?" "You need to move out of Emeka's apartment," Philip replied. "Use the money to rent a good place, buy furniture, and take care of yourself." "This is too much." "Nothing is too much for the woman I want to marry." Sonia smiled for the first time since ending the relationship. "Are you truly serious?" "I am more serious than you know. I want you to leave that apartment immediately. I do not want my future wife living in another man's property. I will start searching for a place." "Good. I will send more if you need it." Philip also told her he had some money he wanted her to deliver to his mother in the village. "I have not sent her anything for some time," he explained. "I want you to take it to her yourself." "Why me?" Sonia asked. "Because I want her to meet you properly. I have spoken to her about you." Sonia's heart leapt with excitement. "You told your mother about me?" "Yes, I told her there is a woman I want to marry." "What did she say?" "She said she wants to see you." That conversation removed much of Sonia's remaining fear. She believed a man who introduced her to his mother could not be playing with her. She began searching for another apartment and found a clean place in a better part of town. The rent was higher than the first apartment, but Philip told her not to worry. She paid for it, bought new furniture, curtains, cooking items, and a large television. Each purchase made her feel as if she was entering a richer and more beautiful life. She packed her clothes and personal belongings from Emeka's apartment, leaving behind the furniture and appliances he had bought. On the day she moved out, she stood at the door and looked back one last time. Memories rushed through her mind, but she closed the door firmly and handed the keys to the man Emeka sent. The man did not ask questions. He simply collected the keys and left. Sonia felt a small pain in her chest, but she pushed it away and focused on her new home. A few days later, she traveled to the village to see Philip's mother. She dressed carefully because she wanted to make a good impression. She wore a beautiful gown, carried a handbag Philip had once bought for her, and placed the money he sent inside a large envelope. When she arrived at Philip's family compound, his mother welcomed her with curiosity. The older woman was surprised when Sonia introduced herself. "You are Sonia?" she asked. "Yes, Mama. Philip sent me." The woman looked at her from head to toe. "He has spoken about you." Sonia's face brightened. "He asked me to bring this money to you." She handed over the envelope. Philip's mother opened it, counted some of the money, and smiled. "My son remembers his mother." She invited her inside and offered her food and drinks. They talked for a while, and Sonia explained that she and Philip had known each other for several years but lost contact. She did not mention Emeka or the way the relationship had started again. As they spoke, Philip called his mother. The older woman answered and placed the phone on loudspeaker. "Your visitor is here," she said. Philip's cheerful voice filled the room. "Has Sonia given you the money?" "Yes, she has." "Mama, welcome her properly. She is not a stranger." Sonia smiled and lowered her eyes shyly. Philip continued. "She is the woman I told you about. She is the woman I intend to marry." His mother glanced at Sonia before responding. "I have heard you. When you come home, we will discuss it. Take care of her for me. Do not allow her to feel uncomfortable." Sonia's heart filled with joy. She had feared Philip might only be making private promises, but hearing him announce his intention to his mother gave her confidence. After the call, Philip's mother spoke warmly to her and advised her to be patient until her son returned. Sonia left the compound feeling like a bride already accepted into her future husband's family.
She called Philip as soon as she reached home. "Thank you for speaking in front of your mother," I said. "Why are you thanking me for telling the truth?" Philip replied. "You are the woman I want. My family still does not believe you. They will believe me when I return and begin the marriage arrangements. When are you coming?" "Before Christmas. I'm arranging everything." Sonia carried that promise back to her parents' house. Her mother looked unhappy when she learned Sonia had gone to Philip's family compound. "You have already started moving around as if you are married to him," she said. "Mama, Philip told his mother that I am the woman he wants to marry. Words are easy. He said it in front of me. Did his mother say she knows anything about the marriage?" "She said we would discuss it when he comes home." Sonia's father shook his head. "You are rushing because you want to prove that your decision was right." "My decision is right," Sonia replied. Adeze looked at her sadly. "Do you know whether Philip is truly single?" "What kind of question is that?" "A necessary one. He lives abroad. He disappeared for years. Have you asked whether he has a wife or children?" Sonia became angry. "He would not ask me to marry him if he already had a wife. Men have done worse things," Adeze replied. "Stop bringing fear into everything," Sonia said. "You people only liked Emeka because he was always sending money and greeting everybody." Her mother frowned. "Do not twist the truth. We liked Emeka because he was respectful and responsible. Philip is also responsible. In fact, he is more successful than Emeka." Adeze folded her arms. "So now success is the reason?" Sonia smiled with pride. "Philip knows how to make money. He owns cars, he invests, he travels, he is confident. He is the kind of man who can give me the life I want." "Emeka was also ready to give you a good life," Adeze reminded her. "A small apartment and endless phone calls are not the life I want." "That small apartment was enough when you believed Philip was gone." Sonia's face hardened. "I did not know better then." Her words shocked the family. Her father warned her not to insult the man she had already hurt. "Do not speak as if Emeka did nothing for you," he said. "You accepted his help willingly." "I am not denying what he did. I am only saying Philip is more suitable for me." "Because he's richer?" her father asked. "Because I love him," Sonia answered. Though even she knew the money and lifestyle mattered greatly. As the weeks passed, Sonia became more confident in her choice. Philip sent money often and called her at night. He spoke about their wedding and allowed her dream openly. Sonia saved pictures of large wedding halls, expensive dresses, beautiful decorations, and luxury cars. She told Adeze that her wedding would be one of the biggest ceremonies the community had ever seen. "People will forget everything they said about me," she boasted. "When they see how Philip will marry me, they will understand why I left Emeka." Adeze did not share her excitement. "Marriage is not a competition," she warned. "You are planning a ceremony with a man who has not even come home to speak with our parents. He is coming before Christmas. He said many things before." Sonia ignored her and continued making plans. She contacted a bridal designer and asked about bridal dresses. She visited shops and looked at jewelry. She even began writing names of people she wanted to invite. Whenever Philip called, she described every detail. He encouraged her, but always told her to wait until he returned before paying for anything important. Sonia saw this as wisdom, not delay. "I want everything to be perfect," she told him. "It will be. You deserve a wedding people will remember." As December approached, the village slowly began to change again. Roads became busier, houses were cleaned, and people abroad started announcing their travel dates. Sonia waited anxiously for Philip to confirm his flight. One evening, he called and told her the news she had been expecting. "I have booked my ticket." Sonia jumped from her seat. "Are you serious?" "Yes, I will be in Nigeria before Christmas." "Thank God. I have been waiting. This time, we will not waste time. You will come directly to see my parents?" "Yes, I will also speak with my mother and arrange everything." Sonia ended the call feeling victorious. She told her family Philip was finally returning. Her mother remained quiet, while her father simply said, "Let him come, we will see." Adeze warned her not to celebrate until she saw clear actions, but Sonia no longer cared about their doubts. She bought new clothes, fixed her hair, and prepared herself to welcome the man she believed would change her life. Unknown to her, Emeka had also booked a flight to Nigeria. She learned about his return through someone who knew both men. At first, she felt uncomfortable, but then she told herself he had every right to come home and move on. She assumed he would collect whatever remained in the apartment and avoid her. She did not expect him to ask for a meeting. A few days after she heard he had arrived, Emeka sent her a message. "We need to talk." "I am in Nigeria.
Sonia stared at the words for a long time. She considered ignoring him, but curiosity and fear pushed her to reply. What do you want to talk about? Emeka answered, You will know when we meet. Sonia told Philip about the message. Philip became quiet. Do not be afraid, he said. He cannot force you to return to him. Should I meet him? Yes. Let him say whatever he wants. You have already made your choice. Will you be nearby? Sonia asked. I have things to handle today, but call me when you are done. Sonia agreed to meet Emeka in a quiet outdoor restaurant away from her family home. She dressed carefully because she did not want him to think she was suffering after leaving him. When she arrived, Emeka was already seated at a table in the far corner. Sonia stopped for a moment when she saw him. He looked tired and older than before. He was neatly dressed, but the softness she remembered in his face was gone. His eyes were cold, and he did not stand to welcome her. Sonia walked to the table and sat opposite him. Good afternoon, she said. Good afternoon, Emeka replied. You said you wanted to see me. Yes. I hope you did not call me here to beg again. I have already made my decision. Emeka stared at her for several seconds. I did not come to beg you. Sonia felt uncomfortable under his gaze. Then why am I here? I wanted to see your face when I asked you a question. What question? Emeka leaned forward. How could you do it? Sonia frowned. Do what? How could you betray me with Philip? Sonia's heart stopped for a moment. She forced herself to remain calm. I do not know what you're talking about. Emeka laughed bitterly. You still want to lie. Philip and I knew each other before I met you. That is not what I asked. Then say what you want to say. You went to his hotel room carrying food I asked you to buy for me. You are there because I trusted both of you. Yet you slept with him. Sonia's face became pale. She looked around quickly to make sure nobody was listening. Lower your voice. Why? Are you ashamed now? Who told you? Does it matter? Philip would not tell you that. So, you admit it happened. Sonia realized she had trapped herself. She sat back and folded her arms. Yes, something happened, but you do not understand. Then help me understand. Philip was my first love, she said. We met years before you came into my life. We lost contact by accident. If that had not happened, I would have married him. Emeka's jaw tightened. So, that gave you the right to betray me? I did not plan it. Seeing him again brought back feelings I had buried. And what about everything we had? I cared about you. You cared about me, Emeka repeated. You lived in the home I rented. You accepted my support. You allowed me to speak with your family and plan a wedding. Then, the moment you saw a man with more money and a better car, you forgot everything. Sonia became defensive. This is not only about money. Then what is it about? I love Philip. I always did. And you could not tell me the truth before sleeping with him? I was confused. You were not confused when you lied to me on the phone. I did not want to hurt you. Emeka laughed again, but there was no joy in it. You did not want to hurt me, yet you left me for the man I trusted like a brother. Sonia lifted her chin. Philip intends to marry me. I chose the man I truly love. You need to accept it and move on. Emeka stared at her as if he could not believe the confidence in her voice. Philip intends to marry you. Yes. He told you that many times. And you believed him? He introduced me to his mother. He sends money. He paid for my new apartment. He is coming to speak with my family. Emeka shook his head slowly, then gave a bitter laugh. Sonia frowned. What is funny? You are. Do not insult me. I do not need to insult you. You have done enough for yourself. What do you mean? Emeka leaned back in his chair. His eyes remained fixed on her face. Philip cannot marry you. You are saying that because you are jealous. I am saying it because Philip is already married. Sonia's expression changed, but she quickly recovered. That is a lie. He has a wife in Thailand. No. A white woman. They are legally married. You are lying because I left you. They have 3 children together. Sonia stared with her without blinking. Her hands began to tremble, but she placed them under the table. Philip would have told me. Why would he tell you when the lie was working so well? He said he has never settled down. He lied. His mother knows me. His mother also knows his wife and children. No, Sonia said firmly. You are only trying to destroy what we have. What you have? Asked Emeka. You mean the money, secret calls, and false promises? Philip told his mother in front of me that I am the woman he wants to marry, because he instructed her to play along. Sonia shook her head quickly. I do not believe you. You do not have to believe me. Ask him to show you proof that he is single. Ask to visit his home in Thailand. Ask to speak to the people he lives with. I have spoken to him many times on video calls. And did he ever show you his full house? Did he ever allow you to call whenever you wanted? Or did he always choose the time? Sonia remembered several times Philip refused video calls because he claimed he was busy. She pushed the thought away. Even if he was once married, maybe they are separated. They are not separated.
He lives with his wife and children. You are lying. Emeka reached for his phone and opened a photograph. He placed it on the table and pushed it toward her. Sonia looked down and felt the ground disappear beneath her. Philip stood beside a white woman, smiling, while 3 children stood in front of them. They were dressed in matching clothes near a decorated Christmas tree. The picture looked recent. Sonia stared at it for a long time. This could be old, she whispered. Emeka showed her another picture, then another. In one, Philip held the youngest child at a birthday party. In another, he stood beside the same woman at a formal event. Sonia's breathing became difficult. Where did you get these? I have known Philip for years. I have met his family. I have eaten in their home. Sonia pushed the phone away. He will explain. Yes, ask him to explain why he promised marriage to you while returning every night to his wife. Tears filled Sonia's eyes, but she refused to let them fall. Why did you not tell me before? Because there is more you need to know. Emeka's voice changed. It became lower and heavier. Long before Philip traveled to Nigeria, I showed him your photographs. Sonia looked at him. Why? Because I was proud of you. I told him about the woman I wanted to marry. The moment he saw your picture, he recognized you. Sonia's lips parted. He knew? Yes, he told me he had met you during a Christmas visit years ago. Then why did he act surprised at the hotel? Because the surprise was part of the plan. Sonia's face lost all color. What plan? Emeka looked away briefly, as if ashamed of what he was about to admit. Philip suggested that we test you. Test me? He said if you truly loved me, seeing him again would not change anything. He wanted to know whether you would return to him if he appeared in front of you with money and promises. Sonia stared at Emeka in horror. You agreed to this? I should not have, Emeka said. It was wrong. I trusted you, but I still allowed doubt to enter my mind. Philip said he would be the one to carry the food items back to Thailand. We knew you would meet him at a hotel. So you both planned for me to go there? Yes. You sent me into that room knowing who was behind the door? I believed you would deliver the bag, recognize him and walk away. I believed you would call me immediately and tell me that my friend was your old boyfriend. Sonia's tears finally fell. You tested me like an animal and you betrayed me like I meant nothing. You had no right. I know, Emeka admitted. The test was wrong. I will carry that shame. But the test did not force you to sleep with him. It did not force you to lie to me. It did not force you to insult my appearance or tell Philip that you settled for me because he disappeared. Sonia froze. How do you know what I told him? Philip told me everything. No. He told me how you said I was ugly, how you complained that I was not tall enough, and how you said I was not your type. He told me you would have married him if you had not lost contact. Sonia shook her head in disbelief. He would not tell me those things. He did. At first, he laughed about it. He wanted to prove that you still preferred him. Later, when you ended the relationship, he showed me messages and told me about the money he was sending. Sonia covered her mouth with one hand. Her body trembled violently. The hotel meeting returned to her mind in painful pieces. Philip's surprise, his questions, his promises, his pressure, and the money he sent all looked different now. What about his mother? She whispered. She knows about the plan, Emeka answered. Philip told her you are an old friend who might visit. He asked her to welcome you and say whatever would make you believe him. Sonia began to cry openly. No, this cannot be true. It is true. Why would Philip do this? Because he wanted to prove that he could still control you. Maybe it was pride. Maybe it was entertainment. Maybe he wanted to feel stronger than me. I do not know. And you allowed it. I allowed the meeting. I did not expect him to take it as far as he did, and I did not expect you to fall so quickly. Sonia slapped her hand against the table. You are both wicked. Yes, what we did was wrong, but do not use our wrong to hide yours. You had a choice every step of the way. You could have left the hotel. You could have told me the truth. You could have refused his money. You could have listened to your family. Instead, you betrayed me, mocked me, and walked away as if I had never mattered. Sonia's tears fell onto the table. I thought he loved me. You wanted to believe him because he had what you admired. I loved him before I met you. Then you should never have accepted me. I thought he was gone, and the moment he returned, all my love became worthless to you. Sonia could not answer. Emeka stood up slowly. I did not call you here because I want you back. I wanted you to know the truth before you destroyed more of your life. Sonia looked up at him through her tears. Emeka, please, do not beg me. I am not the man you want. You made that clear. I did not know it was a test. A loyal person does not need to know she is being watched before she remains loyal. Sonia reached for his hand, but Emeka stepped back. I am sorry, she cried. I made a mistake. You made many choices, Sonia. Do not reduce them to one mistake. What will I do now? That is no longer my responsibility. His words cut deeply. Sonia's shoulders shook as she cried. Did Philip truly tell me everything? Yes. Is Philip here in Nigeria? You said he came to marry you. Go and ask him yourself. Emeka picked up his phone. I forgive you because I do not want to carry hatred, but I cannot forget what you did and I will never marry you. Emeka, please wait. There is nothing left to discuss. He turned and walked away from the table. Sonia watched him leave, but her body felt too weak to follow. The restaurant around her became blurred. She looked at the empty chair where Emeka had been sitting and then at the photograph still burning inside her mind. Philip beside his wife and 3 children, smiling like a happy family man. The man she had chosen had never been free. The man she had betrayed knew more than she imagined. The money, the calls, the promises, the visit to Philip's mother, and the dream of a glamorous wedding had all been part of a cruel game. Sonia covered her face and cried until her chest hurt. Then, with shaking hands, she picked up her phone and called Philip. He did not answer. She called again, but the call rang until it ended. She sent several messages, demanding to know where he was. There was no reply. Sonia stood up unsteadily, grabbed her handbag, and rushed out of the restaurant. She no longer cared about her makeup, her pride, or what anyone thought of her. Only one thought remained in her mind. She had to find Philip, look into his eyes, and force him to tell her the truth. Sonia rushed out of the restaurant with tears running down her face and her phone shaking in her hand. She did not care that people were looking at her or that her makeup had become messy. Emeka's words followed her like a frightening voice she could not escape. Philip was married. Philip had 3 children. The hotel meeting had been planned. The money, the promises, and the call to his mother had all been part of a cruel game. Sonia refused to accept everything immediately because the truth was too painful. She wanted to believe that Emeka was only angry because she had rejected him. She wanted to believe that the pictures he showed her were old or that the white woman was Philip's former wife. She wanted to believe there was still an explanation that would save the beautiful future she had created in her mind. She called Philip again as she stood beside the road, but he did not answer. She called many more times, but every call rang until it ended. Sonia opened their messages and wrote quickly, Philip, where are you? I need to see you now. Emeka told me something terrible. Please, answer me. She waited, but there was no reply. She sent another message. Are you married? Do you have 3 children? Please, tell me Emeka is lying. Still, Philip said nothing. Sonia's fear grew stronger with every passing minute. She tried to remember the places Philip normally visited whenever he returned to Nigeria. She called one of his friends she had met during their first Christmas together, but the man claimed he did not know where Philip was. Please, I need to speak with him, Sonia begged. It is urgent. The man sounded uncomfortable. I cannot help you. Try calling him again. Sonia knew from the man's voice that he was hiding something. She entered a hired car and gave the driver the address of Philip's family house. During the journey, she kept looking at her phone, hoping Philip would call back. Her heart was beating so hard that she felt pain in her chest.
She remembered Philip standing in the hotel room and asking her if she would leave Emeka for him. She remembered how serious his face looked when he promised to marry her. She remembered the money he sent and the way his mother welcomed her. It all had felt so real. Sonia pressed her head against her hands and whispered, "No, this cannot be true. It cannot be true." When she arrived at Philip's family compound, she rushed toward the house without greeting anyone outside. Philip's mother was sitting in the sitting room when Sonia entered. The older woman looked surprised to see her in such a condition. "Sonia, what happened?" she asked. "Where is Philip?" "I have been calling him." Philip's mother shifted uncomfortably in her seat. "Why are you looking for him like this?" "I asked where he is." "You should calm down first." "I cannot calm down. Emeka told me that Philip is married in Thailand and has 3 children. He said everything Philip told me was a lie. Is it true?" The older woman did not answer immediately, and her silence gave Sonia the answer she feared. "Mama, please, tell me the truth. Does Philip have a wife?" Philip's mother looked away. "You should speak with him." "You knew," Sonia said, her voice becoming weak. "You knew he was married when I came here." "Sonia, this is not something I want to discuss. You collected the money I brought. He called you in front of me and said I was the woman he wanted to marry. You told me to be patient. Why did you do that if you knew he already had a wife?" Philip's mother became defensive. "I only repeated what my son told me. I did not promise you anything." Sonia stared at her in disbelief. "You allowed me to believe I would become your daughter-in-law. Did I collect marriage drinks from your family? Did Philip come here with your parents to discuss marriage? You should not accuse me of something that never happened." "But I knew I had left another man because of him." The older woman shook her head. "That matter is between you and Philip. I did not ask you to leave anybody." Sonia felt as if another door had been closed against her. She wiped her tears angrily. "Where is he?" "He is not here." "Then call him." "I cannot force him to answer you." Sonia reached for her own phone and called Philip again. This time, the call connected, but he rejected it almost immediately. Sonia looked at her mother. "He is avoiding me. Go home and allow him to contact you when he's ready." "No, I will not leave until I speak with him." Philip's mother stood up. "Do not create a scene in my house. Your son has destroyed my life and you are worried about a scene? Nobody destroyed your life. You are an adult. Whatever you did it with your own eyes open." Those words hit Sonia deeply. She wanted to shout, but her strength was leaving her. She walked out of the compound in tears and stood outside, not knowing where to go. As she was about to enter another vehicle, her phone rang. Philip was calling. Sonia answered immediately. "Where are you?" she demanded. "Why are you shouting?" Philip asked calmly. "I need to see you." "I am busy. Emeka told me everything." There was a short silence on the line. "What did he tell you?" Philip asked. "Do not pretend. He said you are married to a white woman and have 3 children. He showed me pictures. He said the hotel meeting was planned. He said you knew who I was before I came. Tell me he is lying." Philip breathed out slowly. "Where are you now?" "I am outside your mother's house." "Leave there. Meet me at the hotel lounge near the main road." "I am coming." Sonia ended the call and quickly entered a vehicle. During the short journey, she felt both fear and anger. A part of her still hoped Philip would laugh and explain that Emeka had misunderstood everything. She imagined Philip telling her he had separated from his wife or that the children were not his. She held on to every weak possibility because accepting the truth meant accepting that she had destroyed a real relationship for nothing. Philip was already sitting in a quiet corner of the hotel lounge when Sonia arrived. He wore dark glasses and looked calm, as if nothing serious had happened. Sonia walked toward him quickly. "Remove those glasses and look at me," she said. Philip slowly removed them and placed them on the cable. "Sit down." "I do not want to sit down. Answer me." "You are attracting attention." "I do not care. Are you married?" Philip looked around before replying. "Lower your voice." "Are you married?" Sonia repeated. Philip's silence lasted only a few seconds, but it felt like an entire lifetime to her. "Yes," he finally said. Sonia froze. Even though Emeka had shown her pictures, hearing the truth directly from Philip was more painful. "You are married?" she whispered. "Yes." "And you have 3 children?" "Yes." Sonia stepped back as if he had pushed her. "No, you told me you are alone. You told me you came back to find a wife." Philip leaned against his chair. "That was many years ago." And what about now? You told me to leave Emeka. You promised to marry me. You said you wanted to correct the mistake of losing me. You said many things because you are emotional. Sonia stared at him. Because I was emotional? Sit down, Sonia. Let us speak like adults. Sonia sat because her legs no longer carried her properly. Her hands were trembling. Why did you lie to me? She asked. I did not tell you everything, but you also did not ask enough questions. I asked whether you are serious about marrying me, and I told you what you wanted to hear. You said I would become your wife. I never said I would divorce my wife. Sonia's mouth opened in shock. How can I become your wife if you're already married? Men can have more than one woman. You said you wanted to marry me properly. You spoke about a traditional marriage and a white wedding. Philip shrugged. People say many things when they are trying to understand a situation. Sonia's tears began to fall again. What situation? You and Emeka. So it is true. You knew I was Emeka's fiancé before I came to the hotel? Philip did not answer immediately. Sonia leaned forward. Answer me. Yes, I knew. You recognized my picture? Yes. You and Emeka planned for me to come to that hotel? He wanted to know whether you are loyal. And you agreed to tempt me? Nobody forced you to do anything. Sonia shook her head in disbelief. You opened the door and behaved as if you were shocked to see me. I had to allow the meeting to happen naturally. Naturally, Sonia cried. You acted surprised. You told me you had searched for me. You told me you never forgot me. Philip remained calm. You also said you never stopped loving me, because I believed you were telling the truth. Your feelings were your own. Sonia slapped both hands on the table. You promised to marry me. You are already engaged to my friend. Why would you believe I wanted to marry a woman who could leave my friend so easily? Sonia looked as if she had been struck across the face. What did you say? Philip leaned forward and spoke more quietly. At first, it was only a test. Emeka showed me your pictures and told me you were the woman he wanted to marry. I recognized you and told him we had met before. He said you had never mentioned me. I told him that maybe you had forgotten me. Then we wondered what would happen if you saw me again. You wondered? Yes. My life was a game to both of you? Emeka did not expect it to go this far. He believed you would reject me. I was curious. Curious about what? I wanted to know whether you still desired me. I wanted to know whether you would choose me again if I offered you the same kind of life. Sonia covered her mouth with one hand. So everything you did was to prove a point? Philip gave a small smile without kindness. When you left the hotel and still answered my calls, I knew I had my answer. And when I left Emeka, that proved it completely. You were happy because you had destroyed your friend's relationship? I was happy because I knew I still had power over you. Sonia stared at him with horror. The man sitting before her no longer looked like the charming person she had admired. She saw pride, selfishness, and cruelty in his eyes. The money you sent me, she asked weakly, what was it for? To keep you comfortable. You said it was for our future. It was also a reward. A reward for what? For choosing me. Sonia began to cry harder. You sent money because I obeyed you? Call it whatever you want. The apartment, I did not want you living in Emeka's house while speaking to me. The money I took to your mother, I needed to send her money anyway. It also helped you believe I was serious. Sonia stood up so quickly that the chair almost fell. You are wicked. Philip's face became hard. Do not shout at me. You used me. You watched me destroy my life while you laughed with Emeka. Emeka was not laughing after you left him, but you were. I did not make your decisions for you. You knew I loved you, and you used Emeka while believing I was gone. I did not use him. I tried to move on. You accepted his money, his apartment, and his marriage plans. Then you insulted him the moment I returned. Sonia shook her head. I said those things because you confused me. I did not put the words in your mouth. I did not tell you to say Emeka was ugly. I did not tell you to complain about his height. I did not tell you to say he was below your taste. Sonia felt ashamed because Philip knew every cruel word she had spoken. You told him all that? He deserved to know what you truly thought about him. After sleeping with me, you went back and told him everything. He asked what happened. And you showed him our messages? Philip looked away briefly. Some of them. Sonia slapped him across the face before she could stop herself. The sound drew attention from a few people nearby. Philip stood up immediately and grabbed her wrist. "Do not ever touch me again," he warned. Sonia pulled her hand free. "You destroyed me." "No," Philip replied coldly. "You destroyed yourself. I gave you an opportunity to make a choice, and you chose based on money, appearance, and old feelings. Nobody forced you to enter my hotel room. Nobody forced you to become intimate with me. Nobody forced you to lie to Emeka. Nobody forced you to leave the apartment or ignore your parents." Sonia cried openly. "You promised me marriage, and you believed me because you wanted the richer man. I loved you. You loved what you thought I could give you. That is not true. Then why did you keep comparing me with Emeka? Why did you talk about my cars, my clothes, my business, and the life abroad? You did not leave him only because of love. You left because you believed you were moving to something bigger." Sonia had no answer because Philip's words contained a painful truth. "What happens to me now?" she asked. Philip picked up his glasses. "That is not my problem. You cannot leave me like this. I have a wife and children. I am returning to them. What about everything between us? It ends here." Sonia stepped in front of him. "You will not even apologize?" Philip's face became hard. "For what? You enjoyed the money and the attention while it lasted. I gave up a man who loved me. That was your decision. You are not afraid that I will tell my wife?" Philip's face changed immediately. He moved closer and lowered his voice. "Do not contact my wife. She deserves to know what kind of man she married. Stay away from my family. Or what? Do not test me, Sonia. My wife and children have nothing to do with your choices. Do not call them, do not message them, and do not come near my home in Thailand. You are afraid she will leave you. She will not leave me, but I will not allow you to bring trouble into my family." Sonia laughed bitterly through her tears. "You protected your own family while helping me destroy the future I had." Philip put on his glasses. "Next time, learn to value what you have before chasing what shines." He turned and walked away without looking back. Sonia stood in the hotel lounge, shaking with pain and shame. She watched the man she had chosen disappear through the door, and in that moment, she knew there was nothing left to fight for. The wedding she had imagined had never existed. The life in Thailand, the car, the large business, and the beautiful home were all dreams Philip had used to control her. Sonia slowly sat down again and cried until one of the hotel workers approached to ask whether she was all right. She could not answer. She eventually left the hotel and returned to the apartment Philip's money had helped her rent. For the first time, the expensive furniture and new decorations looked empty and ugly. Every item reminded her of the lie she had accepted. She entered the bedroom, sat on the floor, and cried until night came. She called Philip several more times, but he blocked her number. She sent messages through other numbers, but he never replied. Sonia then called Emeka, but he did not answer. She called again and again until her phone battery became weak. She sent a message that read, "I am sorry. Everything you said was true. Please speak with me." Emeka did not respond. Sonia remained alone in the apartment for 2 days, unable to eat properly or go to work. Her sister Adaeze finally came to check on her after their mother said she had not called. When Adaeze entered and saw Sonia lying on the bed with swollen eyes, she knew something terrible had happened. "Sonia, what is wrong?" she asked. Sonia turned her face away. Adaeze sat beside her and touched her shoulder. "Did you speak with Philip?" Sonia began to cry again. Everything was a lie. Adaeze closed her eyes sadly. "He is married. He has a wife and 3 children." "Oh, Sonia. He said it was all a test. He knew I was Emeka's fiancé before I came to the hotel. He wanted to see whether I would leave him for him." Adaeze looked shocked, even though she had expected Philip was hiding something. "And the marriage promises?" "They were lies. The money was to keep me interested. Even the meeting with his mother was planned." Adaeze held her sister as Sonia cried. For several minutes, she said nothing, because no words could remove the pain. "I destroyed everything," Sonia said. Emeka loved me, and I treated him like he was nothing. You made a terrible choice, Adaeze replied gently, but you must face it. I want to go home. Adaeze helped her pack a few clothes and took her back to their parents' house. When Sonia entered the compound, her mother immediately saw that the truth had come out. She held her as she cried, but her father remained seated and looked at her with deep disappointment. After Sonia explained everything, silence filled the sitting room. Her mother wiped tears from her own eyes. We warned you, she said softly. Every one of us warned you. Sonia knelt in front of her parents. I know, Mama, I did not listen. Her father's voice was heavy. You believed we were against your happiness. I was foolish, Papa. You called Emeka too ordinary. You said Philip was richer and more suitable. Now, where is Philip? Sonia lowered her head. He has gone back to his family. And where is the man who rented a home for you and planned a future with you? I destroyed his trust. Her father shook his head. Money made you blind. Appearance made you proud. You looked at the height and face of a man, but refused to look at his heart. Sonia cried harder. I am sorry. Your apology cannot change what happened, her mother replied. Place a hand on his arm. She understands now. She understands because the richer man rejected her, her father said. Would she have returned here if Philip had truly married her? Sonia could not answer. The question exposed another painful truth. If Philip had kept his promise, she might never have admitted how badly she treated Emeka. Adaeze sat beside her. You need to apologize to Emeka not only because Philip rejected you, but because what you did was wrong. I have been calling him, Sonia said. He will not answer. Give him time. For the next several days, Sonia continued trying to reach Emeka. She sent long messages admitting everything. She apologized for lying, for betraying him with Philip, for insulting his appearance and acting as if the things he did for her meant nothing. He supported her work, helped her family, rented a house for her, and planned to marry her. He never treated her badly. He was patient with her, but I threw everything away because I saw a man with more money and a bigger car. Emeka looked away. Sonia's voice broke. I allowed old feelings and greed to control me. I thought Philip was better because he was flashy. I did not understand that a good heart is more valuable than appearance. Please forgive me. I have forgiven you, Emeka replied quietly. Sonia looked up with hope. Then give me another chance. Emeka shook his head. Forgiveness does not mean we must return to the relationship. I will change. Maybe you will. I hope you do. I now understand your value. You understand it because you lost me. Please, Emeka, we can begin again. No, Sonia. His answer was gentle but firm. Do not say no so quickly. I have thought about this every day. I loved you. I planned my life around you. I trusted you with everything. But you did not only leave me, you mocked me, you compared me with another man, you entered my friend's hotel room and became intimate with him, then lied to me when I asked directly whether someone else was involved. Sonia bowed her head. I was wrong. You were, and I was also wrong to agree to test you. A relationship should not be built on secret tests. I accept my own mistake, but the test only opened my eyes to something that was already inside you. I can remove it from my heart. I hope you do for your own future, but I cannot marry you out of pity. Sonia reached toward him, but Emeka moved his hand away. I still love you, she said. You may be feeling regret, loneliness, and disappointment. That is not the same as love. It is love. When Philip appeared, your love for me disappeared. You remembered my height, my face, and every way I failed to match your dream. What happens if another richer or more attractive man appears after we marry? It will never happen again. I cannot build a marriage on that promise. Sonia cried quietly. Emeka continued. Love without loyalty is dangerous. Marriage cannot survive only because one person is kind and the other person is grateful. There must be respect, honesty, and trust. You broke all three. So this is truly the end? Yes. You will never forgive me enough to come back? I forgive you so I can live peacefully, but I cannot return. Some things can be repaired and some things leave a wound that changes everything. Sonia lowered her head until her forehead almost touched her hands. I am sorry. I know. Emeka stood up. Please learn from this. Do not destroy yourself completely because of one terrible decision. Continue your work. Take care of your family. Become a better person. But do not wait for me. Sonia looked up. Are you leaving Nigeria? Yes. I will return to Thailand soon. And Philip, he is no longer my friend. Emeka's face became harder. A true friend does not tempt the woman another man intends to marry. A true friend does not turn another person's relationship into a game. I have ended everything with him. Sonia slowly stood. I am sorry I came between both of you. He made his own choice and you made yours. I am leaving both behind. Emeka walked away and Sonia watched him until he disappeared from sight. She knew that this time there would be no second meeting, no renewed promise, and no return to the home they once planned. Emeka traveled back to Thailand and focused on rebuilding his life. He worked, invested, and surrounded himself with people he could trust. He did not allow Sonia's betrayal to destroy his belief in love forever, but he became more careful about whom he allowed close to his heart. He also ended every business and personal connection he had with Philip. Philip tried to apologize and claimed the test had gone too far, but Emeka refused to continue a friendship with a man who had used his trust for pride and entertainment. Philip eventually returned to Thailand and went back to his wife and children. His life continued as if Sonia had been only a short distraction. He never contacted her again. Back in Nigeria, Sonia struggled to rebuild her own life. The apartment Philip paid for became too expensive for her to maintain. The money he sent gradually finished as she paid bills, bought food, and tried to keep the lifestyle she had started. When the rent expired, she could not renew it. She sold some of the furniture and moved into a smaller room closer to her workplace. The beautiful wedding dresses saved on her phone became painful reminders of a marriage that would never happen. She deleted them one after another, crying as each dream disappeared from the screen. News of what happened slowly spread among a few people in the community. Some heard that Sonia left a faithful man for his richer friend, only to discover that the friend was married. People whispered when she passed, and some women used her story as a warning in their conversations. Sonia felt embarrassed and sometimes avoided public gatherings. She stopped dressing to impress people and became quieter than before. At weddings, she watched brides smiling beside their husbands and remembered the future Emeka once offered her. Whenever she saw a man opening a car door for a woman or heard someone speaking about returning from abroad, her heart became heavy. She now understood that a person could look successful in public and still carry dishonesty inside. Her family did not abandon her, but her father remained strict. He told her that regret was useless unless it changed her behavior. Her mother encouraged her to focus on her handwork and build a life that did not depend on any man's money. Adiaze remained close to her, but refused to allow Sonia to blame Philip for everything. Philip was wicked, Adiaze told her one day, but you did not remove your power to choose. You must accept your own path if you truly want to change. Sonia nodded. I know. That is the most painful part. I saw every warning and still walked into it. Months passed and Sonia slowly returned to work. She became serious about her training and began taking small jobs. The money was not much, but it was honest and belonged to her. She no longer measured people by cars, clothes, foreign locations, or public spending. She listened more carefully to how they treated others and whether their actions matched their words. Another Christmas season eventually arrived. Ifite became lively again. Music filled the streets, houses were decorated, and people returned from different parts of the world. Expensive vehicles moved along the roads, and young men sprayed money at festive gatherings. One evening, Sonia walked past the same sightseeing spot where she had first met Philip. The place looked almost exactly as it had years earlier. Bright lights shone over the crowd, women wore beautiful dresses, Men laughed loudly beside their cars, a large modern vehicle entered, and people turned to look as the driver stepped out and began giving money to those around him. For a brief moment, Sonia saw her younger self standing among the crowd, watching Philip with wonder and believing that wealth, confidence, and public generosity were enough to prove a good heart. She remembered how a Christmas stranger had become the center of her dreams, how she waited for him for years, and how she later destroyed a faithful relationship when he returned. Tears gathered in her eyes, but she did not stop walking. She no longer saw glamour in the loud display. She saw a lesson she had paid for with her peace, dignity, and future. Sonia finally understood that a 100-level vehicle could carry a dishonest man, that a foreign address could hide a secret family, and that gifts could be used as bait, and that sweet promises could be empty. She also understood that quiet love was not weak love. Emeka had not shouted about his plans, but he had shown them through his actions. He supported her, respected her parents, and prepared a home for them. She had mistaken his calmness for lack of value, and Philip's loudness for greatness. Sonia continued walking until the music behind her became faint. She accepted that some opportunities do not return after they are carelessly destroyed. She could not force Emeka to trust her again, and she could not return to the past to make a different choice. All she could do was carry the lesson forward and become better than the woman she had been. Her regret became a warning to everyone who heard her story. Never throw away a faithful partner because someone richer or more attractive appears. Never confuse money with love. Never compare a person's honest effort with another person's public display. And never betray someone who has given you genuine commitment for a fantasy that has not been tested by truth. Sonia entered her family compound that evening with a quieter heart. She had lost the marriage she once expected, but she had finally gained understanding. She knew the price of betrayal because she had paid it herself, and she also knew that for the rest of her life, she would never again judge the value of a person by what could be seen on the outside. The lesson in this story is that we should never allow money, physical appearance, old feelings, greed, or empty promises to make us betray a faithful and responsible person who has shown us genuine love. Because flashy wealth can hide lies, true character is more valuable than outward attraction, and once trust is carelessly destroyed, regret may come when it is already too late to recover the good future we threw away.